Have you ever wondered why a man suddenly looks at you like he's seeing you for the very first time? Why, in certain moments, his desire for you doesn't just feel emotional, it feels magnetic, raw, undeniable. It's not always about how you look. It's deeper. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you walk away without begging, the way your silence speaks louder than 1,000 words. And the truth? The strongest desire a man ever feels is rarely born in the bedroom. It's born in the moments when you stop needing him to desire you at all. A man does not crave what he can easily have. He craves what he can't quite reach. He becomes consumed not by what a woman says, but by what she holds back. The more you glow in your own energy, the more you turn your attention inward, the more his focus shifts outward, straight to you. Desire is not always loud. Sometimes it's the softest thing in the room, the way you smile without needing validation, the way you protect your peace like it's gold, the way you stop explaining yourself and just become her. As Seneca once said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. And when it comes to desire, a man who's tasted a woman's energy but cannot grasp her completely, he becomes poor in peace. He becomes restless in silence, because now it's not just attraction, it's obsession masked as curiosity, it's hunger disguised as memory. Think of fire. The closer you get, the more dangerous it becomes. But what if that fire never moves toward you? What if it dances just far enough to warm you, but never burns for you? That's when the desire becomes unbearable. That's when a man begins to crave, not just your body, but your mystery, not just your love, but your presence, not just your warmth, but the power you radiate when you stop waiting to be chosen. And you? You are no longer the woman who waits by the door. You are no longer the one begging to be seen. You are the energy that shifts the entire room. The kind of woman whose presence lingers long after she's gone. The kind of woman who makes a man sit in silence and feel everything all at once. Now listen closely, beautiful lady. You're not here to chase a feeling, you are the feeling. And the moment you rise in that truth, that's the moment he feels it, every inch of it, and that's when the real desire begins. If this spoke to your soul, if it reminded you of the power you've always carried but maybe forgot for a moment, then show your love, queens. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, pouring truth into every word, working hard to bring you the kind of content that heals, empowers, and helps you rise into the woman you were always meant to be. Let's begin. Number 1. When you walk away without looking back. Have you ever seen the exact moment desire turns into obsession? It's not when she gives in. It's not when she stays. It's when she walks away, not with drama, not with noise, but with calm eyes and a closed heart. That's the moment a man feels something shift deep in his chest. He doesn't say it out loud, but it hits him like a wave. She didn't just leave the room. She took the light with her. He expected a reaction. He thought you'd plead, cry, wait. But instead, you chose silence. You chose to turn your back and keep walking. And in that moment, he realized, desire isn't always about touch. Sometimes it's the absence that stirs something stronger than presence. You became the one thing he couldn't reach anymore. And that distance, that's when the physical craving starts. Because he doesn't just want you, he wants back in. But now you're gone. There's a reason the rarest flowers grow far from reach. A man doesn't chase what's easily his. He burns for what slips away. When you stopped answering, when you stopped explaining, when your goodbye had no comma, just a full stop, his body felt it before his mind caught up. That's the kind of absence that wraps itself around his thoughts and won't let go. As Seneca once said, withdraw into yourself. As long as you are not made whole again, you'll never feel peace. And that's exactly what happens when a man watches a woman walk away with grace. He loses his peace, because now you've become the echo in his silence, the face in his dreams, the warmth his arms can no longer reach. Think of a candle burning in a dark room, steady, quiet, powerful, but once that flame is gone, the darkness feels colder than before. That's you. He didn't realize how much he needed your light until you stopped giving it. So hear this now, beautiful woman. You were not made to chase. You were not made to shrink. The moment you walked away, you didn't just remove your presence. You took your power with you. And that power, that's what he now desires more than anything. Write this in the comments and claim it. I walk away and I rise higher. Say it, queens. Let the world know that you are done proving, done pleading, done staying where you are not honored. And if this truth struck a chord in your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you real lessons, real power, and real healing, because queens like you don't wait to be chosen, you reign. Number 2. When you laugh without needing his approval. There's something about a woman's laugh that can shake a man at his core, but only when it's no longer meant for him. Not forced, not filtered, not waiting for his reaction, just pure, unbothered joy. A laugh that says, I'm happy with or without you. That's the sound that haunts him. That's when desire begins to wake up in his body, because he can feel he no longer controls your light. You see, he used to be the reason behind your glow. He thought he was the center of your happiness, but now you smile for yourself. You find joy in the little things again. You laugh freely, not checking to see if he's looking. And that, right there, is the moment he feels a wave of physical desire he cannot explain. Because nothing is more attractive to a man than a woman who has returned to herself. As Oscar Wilde once said, a woman is irresistible when she is content with herself. And when your laughter is no longer tied to his approval, it becomes power. It becomes music he can't turn off. It replays in his head, not because he still has you, but because he can feel you slipping away while still being the most radiant thing he's ever seen. Imagine a wildflower growing in the middle of a field, untouched, unapologetically bright. That's you now. You're not laughing to be liked. You're not dressing up to be noticed. You're simply living, breathing, glowing. And he stands in the distance, aching because your joy no longer needs his presence. That joy is now his punishment. This is when everything changes. This is when the girl who once waited becomes the woman who reigns. You've stepped into your light. You've taken your energy back. You've become the kind of woman who isn't looking to be saved because she already saved herself. So hear me, beautiful lady. You don't need anyone's nod to feel alive. That laugh, that joy, that peace in your spirit, it's more attractive than anything you could ever wear. That is when he desires you the most, when he realizes your world didn't stop spinning without him. Write this in the comments and claim it. My joy no longer needs his approval. Say it with your chest, queens. Let the world know that your smile is yours again. We are here, creating the kind of lessons that help you rise, reign, and never shrink again. Number 3. When he realizes he can't read you anymore. There's a shift that happens when a woman stops letting a man read her like a book. A shift so powerful, it turns attraction into obsession. He used to know exactly what you felt when you felt it. He could predict your texts, your tone, your energy. But now, he watches you move differently. He listens for a version of you that no longer exists. And that silence, that stillness, it drives him wild, because now he has to guess, and when a man has to guess, his desire grows faster than his understanding ever could. A man feels the strongest physical pull not when he fully has her, but when he can no longer figure her out. When he goes looking for signs of softness and finds steel. When he expects the old version of you to show up and instead meets a woman who no longer explains herself. You stopped giving him clues, you stopped handing him emotional maps, and now he's lost in your mystery. That's when he starts craving what he once overlooked. As Rumi once said, the quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. And now he is the one listening for the warmth in your voice, searching for the meaning behind your smile. But that access? It's no longer his. And that unavailability doesn't make you less attractive. It makes you unforgettable. Think of a locked diary on a velvet shelf. He remembers reading it like a favorite story, every page soft, open, full of warmth. But now, the diary is closed, the key is gone, and no matter how long he stares, no matter how badly he wants to feel what he used to feel, he can't. And that locked silence becomes the thing he craves most. Because now, the woman he once knew has stepped into a different kind of power, a kind that doesn't beg to be understood, a kind that lets curiosity do all the chasing. So, lovely woman, when you stop being predictable, you start becoming unforgettable. When you stop trying to be read, you become the one he reads into every night. That's the moment he feels the strongest pull, when your energy is no longer his to hold, but still strong enough to haunt his body. Write this in the comments and claim it. My mystery is my power. Queens, let him wonder, let him ache. Let him realize too late that the woman he used to know has risen into one he'll never reach again. We're here building life-changing truths for powerful women like you, because now you don't just attract, you reign. Number 4, when you level up quietly. Have you ever noticed how quiet power shakes the ground more than loud noise ever could? He didn't even see it coming because you never announced it. You didn't post about your healing. You didn't make a show of your glow-up. You just moved differently. You started saying less, choosing peace, walking lighter. And that's when he started to feel it, not in his mind, but in his body. That deep ache, that pull, that sudden awareness of what he no longer has access to. Because nothing hits a man harder than the moment he realizes she leveled up. And said nothing. You didn't glow up to prove anything. You didn't rise to make him chase you. But Queens, here's the truth. He still feels it. The moment you stopped explaining yourself, the moment you stopped trying to be understood, was the exact moment you became magnetic. Because the strongest physical desire a man feels isn't just about looks, it's about energy. And a woman who transforms in silence, she becomes unforgettable. He can't look away, and he doesn't know why. Seneca once said, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." But I say this, silence tests a woman's power. You were the quiet flame that never died. And now that you've grown into something stronger, calmer, and unshakably self-owned, he feels it. He feels it in her absence. He feels it in your glow. He feels it every time he looks at her and realizes she's not you. Think of a flower that blooms in the night. It doesn't need the sun to open. It doesn't need an audience to be beautiful. It just blossoms. And by the time morning comes, the air is already filled with its scent. Too late for the one who wasn't paying attention. That's what you've become. A quiet, graceful force that now lives in his thoughts, his memory, his deepest physical craving. Beautiful lady, you are not who you were when he left. You are not here to explain your evolution. You are not his to reclaim. You have stepped into your power, and you didn't need to make a sound. And now, he's feeling the burn of a woman who outgrew him without even trying. Write this in the comments and claim it. I leveled up in silence. He feels it loud. Queens, if this message touched something inside you, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard to bring you the kind of truth that changes lives. Because your glow-up isn't just about beauty, it's about rising so high he can't reach you even in his dreams. Number 5. When you stop competing and start reigning. Have you ever seen a woman stop chasing the spotlight, only for the whole room to turn and look at her anyway? That's the moment it hits him. That's the moment his desire shifts. Not because you're louder, not because you're trying harder, but because you finally stopped trying at all. You stopped looking around to see if you're winning against her, or if he's watching you more than he's watching her. You stopped competing, and you started reigning. It's a shift he never sees coming. One day, he's used to you showing up, proving your worth, trying to hold your place. And then, without warning, the air changes. You stop trying to be seen, and that's when he can't look away. He craves you most when you no longer need to be craved. That's when he begins to feel you, not just want you, because now you're not just in the room, you own it. As the quote says, power is not taken, power is stepped into. And when a woman steps out of the race and onto her throne, every part of her becomes unforgettable. You become the standard. You become the story he tells himself when his world goes quiet. Imagine a stage. 2 women are dancing, both trying to win the crowd. But in the corner, one woman is simply sitting, sipping her tea, unbothered, calm. And guess who he can't stop watching? Not the dancers. The one who didn't need the dance to feel seen. That's you. The moment you stop competing with every other woman for his attention and start owning your space, your light, your voice. That's the moment he feels it in his chest. This isn't about being better than her. It's about being unshakably you. The kind of woman who doesn't ask to be chosen, the kind of woman who doesn't lower her crown to be liked, the kind of woman who no longer cares who he's looking at because she knows he'll always come looking for what he can no longer reach. And now, beautiful lady, it's time to rise. No more fighting for space in a place that was always yours. No more shrinking to make him comfortable. You've stopped competing. And now you reign. Affirm this in the comments. I don't compete, I reign. Write it loud, queens. Let him feel the silence. Let him feel the shift. We're working hard to bring you these life-changing truths because your time isn't coming. Your time is now. Number 6. When you look at him like you used to, but don't stay. Have you ever looked at him with that familiar softness in your eyes, the same way you once did when you believed he was your future? But this time, you didn't stay. That look, that brief flicker of connection, that gentle gaze he used to take for granted, it hits him like a wave, and the moment he feels it again, just for a second, he remembers everything. But then, you're gone. Not in anger, not in bitterness, just gone, with a grace he can't chase and a silence he can't decode. You see, a man doesn't always feel the strongest desire in your presence. Sometimes it's when you leave him with a memory. That one look becomes a wildfire in his chest, because now he knows what it felt like to be truly seen, and he knows he'll never feel it again. You gave him a glimpse, but not access, and that's what makes him ache. It's not your touch, it's your absence wrapped in beauty. It's knowing he once had the whole universe in your eyes, and now he only has the echo of it. As Rumi said, don't get lost in your pain. Know that one day your pain will become your cure. That day has come. That old pain has now become your power. The look he used to ignore is now the ghost that follows him. And no matter how close she sits beside him, he will crave the depth in your silence, the kind that speaks volumes without saying a word. Think of a sunset. Once it's gone, no picture ever does it justice. He can try to replace you, but that energy, that glow, that rare warmth you gave with just your eyes, it's unmatched. He can't replicate it. And that burns deeper than rejection. You are no longer the woman who waits for him to notice. You are the woman who looks once and then walks away with every ounce of dignity still intact. You don't chase, you don't compete, and you don't return. You are not an invitation, you are the final chapter, and he missed the ending. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. One look was enough. He'll feel it forever. Let him sit in that space where he remembers, but never gets to return. We are working hard to bring you powerful, life-changing truths that help you heal, rise, and reign. You are not here to be remembered. You are here to be unforgettable. Number 7. When he sees you loved by your own energy. Have you ever seen how still the water gets when no one's trying to stir it? That's what happens to your energy when you stop chasing, stop explaining, and finally start loving yourself with the kind of depth you used to give to him. And make no mistake, he feels it. He feels it the moment you stop waiting for his texts, stop wondering where he is, stop trying to prove that you were worth it. Because there's a shift, a glow, a quiet kind of power that suddenly surrounds you, and it drives him crazy. You see, physical desire doesn't always come from touch. Sometimes it starts from distance, from watching you love yourself so completely that there's no room left for doubt. That's when it hits him. Not when you begged, not when you cried, but when you started walking like peace lives inside you now. That's when his desire begins to stir, slow, heavy, uncontrollable. Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." And when a woman begins to love her own silence, her own space, her own reflection, she becomes the kind of universe a man cannot stop orbiting. He sees the way you treat yourself. He sees the way you protect your energy. And that reflection, that self-love, it becomes his biggest craving. Think of a candle burning alone in a dark room. No noise, no crowd, just quiet heat. That's you. The flame he thought would fade without his presence, but instead it burns brighter, softer, stronger. And now he feels drawn to it. Not because you need him, but because you don't. That is where his strongest desire is born. Not in your dependence, but in your freedom. Not in your softness for him, but in the way you became soft for you. Because once you begin to love yourself like he never could, he'll ache in places he didn't know existed. And that ache, it's not just missing you, it's craving the new you, the woman he can no longer reach, no longer read, no longer claim. Dear woman, you were never broken. You were only waiting to fall in love with your own light. And now that you have, there's no going back. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am loved by my own energy. Let the world know your glow no longer needs approval. It simply is. And if this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of what you carry within, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're working hard to bring you lessons that awaken the fire in you, and Queens, we rise together.